Here we go. Hey, you want to start us off?
Sure. Hey, Pete, saw the move for Christian Wilkins to be put on the PUP list. Back in OTAs, you mentioned that there was a long process. Do you have an update on what that timeline might look like at this point?
It's still uncertain. It's still uncertain. We sort of have to wait it out.
Is that, in terms of the health of the team, is he the only player that you expect to be on that list?
Yes.
What about Coons? What's the latest with him?
He should be ready to go. We're gonna look after him, make sure that we do it right and break him in, but he's ready to go.
What are your expectations as you guys get ready to start practices for training camp tomorrow?
What are my expectations? Well, we want to make sure and pick up where we left off. And so we're going to go back and make sure that we capture all of the installation that we did and the kind of the mode that we were in and the mentality that we were in, and then move from there. I don't want to take steps back, in that regard. So we'll go back to what we installed. And then my expectations are about as high as they can get. There's no limit. We're going for it. We're gonna see how far we can take our club. We're gonna do it one step at a time. We're just gonna see how good we can be. And that's gonna be, all phases, put this team together in a really balanced fashion where we have what we can count on both sides of the football in any kicking game, and then play to our strengths. And there's a lot of information we have to gather still. We haven't been in pads at all, so the game hasn't even begun yet. So that's why camp is so crucial, particularly in the first-time camp. You got to find out a lot of information about our guys.
Coach, obviously a lot of people are familiar with how you do things in Seattle practice and training camp and USC, but what is like a competition Wednesday and things that you like to do, from a training camp perspective? How does that translate over to here, and how do you see that looking here?
You either have a philosophy or you don't, and we got beliefs, and principles that guide us, and so I'm not altering those much. I'm staying true to what we know and what has been successful for us, and everything's always moving and adapting to some extent, and the people make it different. But the expectations and the standards that we're setting are going to be as high as we can make it, and that's how we've always done that. And so we're going to take it as far as we can, as quickly as we can, and see what that means.
Pete, you were an active observer last year, rather than being where you are right now. What does this mean to you, that you're back?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That you're back in this role?
Well, I don't know how clearly I've stated it to you, but last year was really valuable to me. And I'll say it again, that the perspective that you have as when you're in the middle of it is different than when you can step away. And the opportunity for clarity, like I probably said, it was so obvious to me. So I saw things differently, and I felt like I learned a lot of things and took in a lot, and have altered my expectations of what we're able to do and how we need to go about getting better and doing things more proficiently in all areas. And so it's a really important year, and it's valuable for anybody, but you don't get the chance, you don't get the shot. So hopefully I can take full advantage of it, and I'm pumped about seeing the things that we adapt and change because of what I saw and how I was influenced by what I was watching them. So it's going to be interesting to me for sure.
What's the biggest change you've seen in the year you were away?
The way that we set our expectations, really, and how clearly we can adjust the expectations that we set out for our guys. There's nothing more important for our guys than being a good teammate. And I see the value in that so much more clearly than I have in the past. That the demands that come on every player has an opportunity to help our team by being a better teammate than they've been in the past. And that's all that goes into that. That's how they give to their effort, how they give to their learning, how they give to what they do on the field, how they give to their teammates, and what they're willing to show and back up and support and help each other and all that. It's just such an interesting part of this that's a little bit different for me now. I just see it differently, and so that's been an emphasis since the moment I got here.
Coach, how optimistic are you that the young guys, very relatively young team, how optimistic are you that they'll be able to pick up what they did in OTAs and mandatory minicamp and be able to understand this NFL game quickly and be able to contribute?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. I could be really optimistic and say, hey, it's going to be great. But they got to get through the hitting and the rigors of camp and playing against guys that are older and bigger and stronger than they've been, in the past. However, I've always been in favor of playing young guys. I've been playing freshmen and rookies for a long time. And I believe if you do it well, and you plot out and plan how you play them and what you expect them to, to be asked to do, then, and if you do it well, then they can contribute early, and they can contribute by midseason. You have guys that have been playing the game. Now you have, your depth chart has changed, your opportunity to rest guys and make sure your rotations can get accelerated. I'm not afraid to play the young guys, and I really documented that a long time ago, and so they're on. They better be ready. They gotta go. We're putting them in there.
Coach, you had 14 training camps as head coach in Seattle. What stands out about the first one, setting the culture, setting the tone out here in Las Vegas?
Well, this is it's a different perspective because I got to step away and now we're looking at it again, and here we go. I think I've had a chance to gather my thoughts about how I'm approaching it, what I'm trying to get done, not just like in terms of X's and O's and all that, but it's in terms of the coaches and how to influence their growth and how to influence their connection with their players. There's a whole lot of the chemistry stuff that I feel different about and I'm more in touch with, and I've been more demanding of our coaching staff in that regard, and that gets translated into more demanding of the players as well. And we've got to find ourselves, and we got to figure out who we are, and that's that needs to be guided well. And so it starts with me, and then the coordinators through the position coaches have to do a tremendous job of figuring out what they can bring us with the players that we have. And so it's a big process, and it might sound kind of loosey-goosey in that thought. This is specific science to me, man. This is working and figuring out who these players are, what they're all about, what they bring, what they're willing, how far they're willing to go, and can we translate who they are as they learn our stuff and make it come to life. So it's a fascinating process. It really is. I'm really pumped about getting in the middle of it now.
Coach, we know competition is kind of the theme that you've preached all throughout this. But as we start this camp, is there a position group or some area you're looking at that, I'm really excited to see how this shapes out?
There's not. I don't have like more excitement for one than the other. I mean, I'm jacked about the whole thing, to tell you the truth. But we have to gain a lot of information about our guys up front on defense for sure. We got to make sure that the offense comes together with what Gino's really equipped it to do. We got to find out about Ashton, see where he fits in. Find out about D. Thornton and Jack, and see where those guys can contribute. And on the defensive side, there's a lot of new guys, and I'm really impressed with what Landon Roberts has brought us in terms of leadership and kind of guidance and mentality and all of that. And so we're kind of feeding off of him a little bit. I'm anxious to see how that spreads. Devin White and with Jermaine coming in, those guys at the linebacker spot. Yeah, it's a pretty exciting group. There's a bunch of hard-nosed, tough guys, and I want to see how they affect the rest of us. Let me just keep going. I'm fired up about the back end. We're really athletic, we're really fast, and we're big, and it's an impressive looking group. I can't remember ever having a group that looks more impressive than this group. My guys would be pissed at me when I said that up north, the old guys. But it's the truth. These guys are big and fast and really hungry to make a mark and all. And how we blend that together is what a defensive coordinator, defensive coach dreams about. And this is going to be an exciting challenge for them.
Pete, obviously most teams come out of training camp feeling pretty optimistic, but when throughout the process of training camp, how well are you able to gauge when you look at the past seasons with Seattle, how good your football team's going to be, or do you still don't really know until you get there?
It depends. When you have known facts and factors, you're bringing guys back that you had for 3-4 years, then you have a better sense for what level you're at. We're in a newer level of this, and we're an entry level really, figuring everybody out. But the guys that we've chosen, the guys that we'll continue to bring in to push everybody through the competition. This competition thing we're talking about is real. You'll see us. We'll continue to be very active in making this as competitive a camp as we possibly can. So I think that we I think we've really got something to look forward to. Everybody should be pumped about it.
Coach, what intrigues you most between Cam Miller and Aiden O'Connell, looking at their skill sets and the competition that'll unfold there?
Well, I think we got a good chance to see Aiden, and he's impressed our coaches. His learning ability, his understanding of the game, his poise in handling situations. We've been through a bunch of situations already in the off season. To just tax them and let them show us where they are, and Aiden did a really good job. So we see some real strengths in him. Cam's just getting started. He's just getting going.
Coach, what excites you most about having training camp here in Las Vegas versus, previous years that the Raiders have had?
Well, I like that it's closer to the fans. It's closer to our people and the people that are going to support us. It makes it more accessible. We're going to make camp as accessible as we can to our people that want to come see us, and so the invitation's out there. For what we can accommodate. But I just think it's important for us this first year to be connected as much as possible to this, our fans that live here. So we'll see if we can make a nice relationship with that.
Coach,
For you
you
guys,
mentioned the team picking up where they left off. And the last time we saw you guys, there was the inflatable ball, the wrestling, and the shirtless coach. It's such a high energy. Why is it important to you and the staff to keep that energy cranked up and keep things fun?
Well, I don't know about the shirtless coach part of it. I mentioned that a few years ago. I don't think I'm revisiting that, but it's crucial for us to just take the next step together in the mode that we're in. We're building a whole mentality here, and our expectations, like I said before, are really high that the guys are all in, and they're tapping in every day to the work that we're doing. That means that when they step on that practice field, they're going to give us everything they got every step of the way until they're off the practice field, and then break time begins. And that's a discipline. That's a mentality, and that comes supported through culture. And so we have to make sure that the messaging's clear. Messages aren't changing. They're not getting a bunch of new stuff today in my 1 o'clock meeting. They're going to get what we believe in and who we are and what we're all about, and what the expectations are to live up to that. And then just take it one step at a time, bring one guy on board and then another guy, and get more guys in that we know are part of what we're all about. And then they'll be tapping in. They're going to be tapping into us. I'm in, and that's part of this process. And this isn't easy. It ain't easy what we're asking them to do. It's not like they can go through practice. They're in good enough shape. They can run up and down the field and all that kind of stuff. That's not what's crucial. What's crucial is how much they really buy in and how big a part of this team they're willing to be, and what they'll do to prove that. That's what being a great teammate's all about.
You had mentioned that your parting message to the players after minicamp was to use the time wisely in that break and report in as good a shape as possible. What were your impressions of how the players?
No, they came back roaring. We just finished the conditioning test there, and they look great. Yeah, so guys have really worked out hard to get back to this, and that's the first indication that you get that everybody's mindful and they're aware of what's happening, what's coming. They need to be ready now. This is going to be a hard camp, and it's going to be challenging for them. I hope it's as challenging as any camp that they've ever had. And we want to practice better than anybody's practiced in the game. And so we'll see if we can pull that together. But the first indications are really, really good. We're really excited about it.
So we're adjusting then to Sean.
You mentioned it's not easy establishing that culture. How much easier does it make that process having a guy like Gino that you're familiar with, especially at the quarterback position, just from a leadership standpoint?
He's a facilitator in that regard, absolutely. He's been with us, he knows, and he's such an all-in guy that there's no questioning what his commitment is and his conviction, and so that just helps the message, be embedded even more so. That's why he's so valuable to us. He really tremendously is. And I've really been impressed because Max and I don't have a lot of background, but Max is seemingly has really taken to where we're going and what we expect. He loves the expectations being really high. He loves to be challenged. He loves to be pushed. And I couldn't ask for more, and so it's interesting. You got Gino who's been with us, and here's Max, a guy that leads on the other side that is in, and I ain't no doubt that he's in. So that's a great start for us. But there's other guys. We get Elan and Jeremy Chin and Adam, and there's so many guys on this club that are willing to go. It's going to be really fun to see Malcolm finally get out there. Get him out. I haven't had a chance to really see him play yet, under our system and style and all that. And on the other side, it's the same. The tight end group has been really impressive. We know what Brock can do. Michael Merritt had a great offseason with us, and Ian had a terrific offseason with us. So you can see stuff happening, and they're coming from all different levels. Guys have been here, guys that are older and younger as well. The young guys too. I think we're underway. So in big fashion. So I'm excited about it.
Pete, you talked a lot about having a sense of urgency when it comes to competing right away, just as a team here. What do you think would constitute success for you guys this season?
Well, we gotta win a ton. We're gonna win a bunch of games. There ain't nothing. I can't even imagine anything. I've been winning 10 games a year for 20 years or something. Now, what are my expectations? We're gonna win a bunch, and I don't care. Who hears that? I mean, it doesn't matter to me. it ain't about what anybody hears, it's about what we do. And so, that's why expectations are really high. The standards need to be so that the expectations can be met. We'll see what happens, you know. I wish I could guarantee it to you, but I can't even think of what else it could be other than being really successful.
I think the day you arrived, you were already getting a little tired of the age questions, right? Being the oldest coach in the
Not
NFL.
really. I just made it sound like that, but go ahead.
But, you know, being 73, but, you know, feeling so.
71.
73, right? There we go, yeah, it's crazy, right? How does it feel out
It's
there?
not crazy to me. I've been this way the whole time.
But, I mean, we see you running around out there, you know, and having so much energy. You know, how do you feel entering this training camp?
Oh, I'm in good shape now. I'm ready. I'm razor sharp.
Coach, you spoke about the
Look out.
difficulty of the process, whether for you or for the players. What do you think the biggest difficulty will be?
Well,
coming up?
it's really, it's the guys being willing to expose themselves to who they are, figuring themselves out so they can figure out how much they have to offer us. That's the big challenge. It's this, we're in the self-discovery mode a little bit here. We're gonna try to elevate guys' expectations for themselves and then hold them to it. We may see them more capable than they see themselves. And it could be the other way as well. We need to figure that out, balance that out, and then try to really come together to maximize what guys bring to our club.
Pete, all this talk about age, did you see Pacquiao fight over the weekend?
It wasn't that much.
It wasn't that much, you're right. But did you see Pacquiao fight over the weekend?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, there's a lot of people doubting his age, and he did well, so, yeah.
Flash.
That's all set.
How's your
Whoa,
break?
whoa, whoa.
How's your break?
Oh, break. Go ahead, Ryan.
Wraps up. What did you see out of Davenport on OTAs and minicamp, and kind of what are you looking for him in far as the development as you guys perceive the training?
Yeah, he met expectations for what we had hoped we would see. He's got tremendous speed. He's got a natural sense about him as an athlete. You know, so he was a receiver, and you can see that he's got receiving skills. We really dug in right from the beginning, technique-wise, the way that we play our guys. We're very, very specific about how we coach our corners, and he fits the mold what we're looking for. So, but that's all he could show at that point. You know, we couldn't compete for a ball, you know, under the OTA rules. So until we get out of till day 5, we're kind of in that mode still. So he'll have his opportunity to show. He's going to get a lot of work. We're going to try to wear him out, and so that he gains as much as he can, as fast as he can. He's wide open. He's clear. He accepts the information. He communicates really well. I mean, there's no issues there. So I think the sky's the limit for him.
Last question, Q.
Coach, you talked about expectations a few times. How would you summarize what the standard is around here under you?
As high as it can get. I hope it's as high as it can get. I'm expecting these guys to be freaking great every day. Coaches, every day. Pete, Jack, every day. And that's the way we're gonna go about it, and to maximize the opportunity that each day brings us. And if we do that really well, then we start stacking days, and before you know it, it's mock game, and then you know we're going to the first preseason game, and away we go. So it's really we can only do it one step at a time, though. You know, we want to always leap out there and try to say what it is and what's gonna be. I don't know that. I just want to make this next thing we do. I got a meeting at 1 o'clock. I can't wait to get to and kick this thing off and get it rolling. So I'm trying to convey that to them. That's all we can control is the next step we take. So see if we can do it. Thanks guys.
Thank you.